Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror freaks, and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
So we are live tonight with some interesting movies: vampires, cocaine, the Boogeyman. Not the Jillian Hall one, but you never know, he might show up.
Don't you dare fucking refer the legend, the Boogeyman, as the Jillian Hall one, you asshole. He is the Boogeyman.
Bitter Mola. Once again,
where was Boogeyman when we needed him for Caesar?
Right, dude? Like, he would have took care of that shit real quick. Would have fucking sucked that shit out.
Todd's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. Thank you guys once again for helping us clear 1,000 subs. We appreciate that very much. And then a little bit more than that now, actually.
And tonight, we are going to have a post show. I got a couple things that I have on the docket. One of them is going to be interactive. You're going to help us with the design. Actually, both things are going to be interactive because I need help locking down a movie for Farce. And another thing you got to just tune in to find out. I don't even know what these guys get. But thank God for AI. That's all I'll say so far.
Well, yes, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. And yeah, uncensored. Ask what you want there. It'll probably be a good one. The chat's already been interesting tonight. So, guys, we got some sad news to kick things off with. I know it's not Squared Circle Society tonight, but I did want to say rest in peace to the legend Iron Sheik. Also, not just a wrestling legend, but a Howard Stern legend, and just a legend in general in life.
Internet icon. I would like to say, like, not only is he one of the most influential gimmicks in pro wrestling and one of the most important gimmicks in pro wrestling, period. He's become like the best fucking meme, the best wrestling meme. I have so many clips on my phone of just little Iron Sheik quotes of him like cussing somebody out, or I can't even say some of the shit that he's
right. I was gonna say,
but
that's old YouTube.
Yeah, I love fucking Iron Sheik to death, and rest in peace. Glad it is sad that he passed, but I think a lot of people will say they didn't think he was going to make it to his 80s. So I'm glad his family had him around that long, and his legacy in wrestling is cemented for eternity. You can't go down a list of famous heels without bringing up the Iron Sheik, and definitely going to have to bust out a camel clutch my next match.
I was gonna say, put a twist on it, maybe like barbed wire gloves or something,
or just a piece of barbed wire. I mean,
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yes,
I'm
you have to just gotta give it right before you put it on them.
You see me like just spit blood on them real quick and then fucking do it. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but yeah. Watch some old Iron Sheik matches in his honor tonight, because you look back at some of his older stuff. I'm talking even like pre-WWE. It's really, really advanced, and he has some amazing fucking, like, if you're a fan of like Kurt Angle and like those wrestlers that came from collegiate wrestling to pro wrestling, he has some amazing fucking suplexes he used to do in his younger years. I mean, he definitely go check that shit out. And check out the documentary. It's one of the best wrestling documentaries out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is a good one. I actually, when I was probably a teenager, I think, maybe a little younger, I got to go in the ring at an indie show and do the Persian Club.
Wait. So it's okay when little Danny gets to go in the ring, but he sees a bunch of little other colored kids doing it.
Child Todd.
Oh, okay. So again,
I was invited by the Iron fucking Sheik, Todd.
Okay, I'm just.
You were bitching about that too.
But
kids do spots off the turnbuckles. Todd.
I wasn't letting them do shit. Well, but you were the one going on and on and on, Karen.
Well, that's fun. You get
Now I know you haven't been to a lot of lucha shows.
Right.
That's always what the fuck is happening beforehand.
But I don't ever remember that.
Oh, dude, like I used to do these lucha shows at a swap meet, and it was like a Sunday thing, Sunday day, Sunday.
Have
morning.
you never been in a Walmart, Dan? They just run around.
Yeah, but yeah, at lucha shows, there was always kids fucking around in the ring. I mean, I've actually seen a kid fucking like try to hit the ropes and go flying out. It was pretty funny.
See, the good thing though is with a lot of us Mexicans, we're not like all about like Zoom because we don't like necessarily have legal residence. So that's the one positive about lucha shows.
On that note, we do have a couple quick things. A trailer for Sympathy of the Devil with starring Nicolas Cage just came out. Looks like
too.
Yeah, theatrical movie. Looks like it's him at his cagiest. So
I haven't watched it yet. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so fucking in. I'm not exactly sure. Like the trailer doesn't give too much away, but basically he's a crazy guy that fucking hijack or kidnaps somebody in their car and it's making them do a bunch of wild shit. So, Big T said, question, do you think the WWE will give the Iron Sheik the tribute he deserves with a proper video package, or will they just send their condolences? There's no way they don't fucking acknowledge.
Yeah. He's definitely getting a video package.
Yeah.
You kind of have to. He was pretty important. I mean, he was the bridge to Hulkamania.
Yeah.
In 84.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
without,
ushered that
without Iron Sheik, there's no Hulkamania. So
yeah.
I think they will. I hope so.
Too.
And just the other piece of news I had is a new horror film called The Dead Place just finished its Indiegogo, and there's a teaser trailer out for it right now on YouTube. And what has me really interested in this is it's starring David Howard Thornton as the killer character in the movie. So David Howard Thornton playing another serial killer. I'm in for it. So looking forward to checking that out. And I hope, like, I know a lot of people said the movie was shit, but I still want to see it. I really hope that we this December get our hands on the mean one. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't release it like on VOD or something, but I want to see him play the Killer Grinch so bad.
Yeah, that is odd, but maybe they are just holding it for the holidays.
A lot of times, like that used to be a big thing and used to frustrate me. Like, especially with Christmas ones, they tend to like hold them back that whole year.
Yeah.
It makes sense though. I mean,
it does. It's you're gonna get way more eyes off the initial VOD and stuff, dropping it in December versus dropping it like.
Yeah, no, I get that
in March.
And there's also another slasher that has David Howard Thornton in it, but I'm not sure if he's playing the killer or not. But that got announced called Stream. It doesn't have a release date yet, but glad to see him in more horror. Because he definitely deserves it after his performance in Terrifier 2, and can't wait to see what they do with Terrifier 3 with that 7-figure budget.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they really embrace the weird a little bit more, especially with the way the second one ended.
Oh, I mean, I think it has to go that way.
Yeah, and just kind of really lean into some of that supernatural elements there that they closed with. I don't really think it needs the up in budget, to be honest.
No, but I mean, shit, man. If this means he could just hire more effects people, because you have to think about it. It was like really just Damien Leone and Phil Falcone working on the effects. They could have hire a fucking actual effects team now, so we get this movie sooner, which is what I'm hoping they utilize with the budget. And also just like, bigger, grander sets. I mean, you saw the amazing haunted house set that they fucking made with $250,000 budget. And now they said it's lower to mid 7 figures. So
yeah. I am excited. I'm kind of curious to see what the box office will be for the third one now. It'll keep going up.
And also in July, the first one is getting a theatrical run at theaters. So I already got my tickets. I can't wait to finally fucking get to see that on the big screen. And let's hope it makes some more money so they could just keep throwing it into 3.
You know, speaking of that, I heard the original Wicker Man is getting a theatrical run as well.
Yeah, my my local art house theater is actually they're playing that in Midsummer like a week apart. So I'm going to try to hit.
Oh God, that would be a good double.
Yeah, it'd be a great double.
I think they have that double at Frida.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never go to that one. I need to go more. It's closer. It's better than driving to LA from here, at least.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about going to a screening in Marina Del Rey this weekend. Fingers crossed.
Ooh.
Yeah, mine's at the end of June, and they're actually it's 2 days before they're screening Midsummer, and then they're screening Wicker Man on a Friday. So I'm gonna have to definitely hit both of those that week.
Definitely. I've never watched Wicker Man on the big screen, so that's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. So I'm really excited to see that, and I wouldn't mind Midsummer again. I got to see the director's cut and the original cut, both screenings.
Really?
So, yeah, they did that second release with the director's cut.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the director's cut theatrically, but seeing the original cut still, like, it definitely one of my favorite theater experiences, because I didn't have it was just me and one other person, nobody else was there, so it was a nice way to experience the movie. I gotta watch it on mushrooms this time though. Get my hands on some.
I'll watch it with some mushroom soup. Actually, could you do mushroom soup with those kind of mushrooms? Cream of mushroom? Could you do that?
I mean, probably, but like if you've had magic mushrooms, they're bitter as shit, so it'd probably be really disgusting.
Dave just likes the cream.
I mean,
fuck you, Todd.
I fucked up. I said Dave instead of Dan, so I was even talking.
Who the fuck is Dave?
Yeah, Todd's already been hitting the mushrooms.
That guy who was over here talking shit during the one show,
right? Yeah. But yeah, with my, like, you can do like teas and stuff too. But me, I just I just try to chase it with something sweet and just down them like fucking. You don't want to chew them. You just kind of want to swallow them like pills and break them up. Now I'm teaching you guys how to do drugs. What the fuck?
Dan, you're gonna do some mushrooms now? Is that what you're asking?
Maybe. You know what I did see today that I didn't know exist? Monster alcohol.
Oh yeah, I've had it. It's decent. The green one's decent. The other ones were kind of fucked up tasting, but
yeah, I don't know if I want that, or supposedly it's not an energy drink at all.
No, it's not an energy drink. It's just like a fucking kind of like a Mike's Hard, one of those sweet like tall boy type things.
Okay,
I almost call them Fifi drinks in my day.
Fifi drinks. What's wrong with Mike's Hard Lemonade, Dad?
It's a Fifi drink.
Well, it doesn't sound positive. Fifi drink sounds.
It means it's a lady drink. Let's go drink your Smirnoff Ices and Zimas. It's that.
It's a Philly drink. I don't know. That's Zima. I don't think I ever had a Zima.
They were delicious, or at least the second incarnation was. But they had another one. It was called Zima Gold. Instead of like, it had a taste of bourbon or whiskey, so it was like disgusting.
But it was carbonated.
Yeah, it just had
like
a little hint of it. At least they were smart enough to make the other one taste like Sprite at the end. So yeah, I was like 18 when that shit came out. I fucking love some Zima.
Okay.
So we haven't even...
Todd's Fifi drink of choice, Zima. All right, guys. Well, we are here to talk horror, not just drugs and booze,
alcohol. Yeah,
I know. I'm looking at that. That was a weird feeling, having an empty 4-liter bottle next to me.
You never learn your lesson, Todd.
No, it just means I got to drink a little less. It's finding my new tolerance. But I have no desire to drink again for a while.
Todd, I've heard you say this shit like so many times.
Yeah, but I don't really. How many times did I drink last year? 4?
Next XPW is going to be popping tops with his eyelids, just Euro trip style. Remember Vinnie Jones? You look confused.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm thinking about
Vinnie fucking Jones. All right, let's talk horror. with our first film of the evening, which is The Boogeyman from director Rob Savage, based on Stephen King's short story that appeared in the Night Shift collection, along with Children of the Corn. And in this film,
we should say no relation to any of the other multiple Boogeyman films.
Yeah. Yes. There's many, and yes, it is not.
I saw someone thought this was the third remake. Then I had to sit and think, like, you thought that other one was a remake of the Uli Lamel film? Okay.
I mean, that was a hit back in the day, so they've remade weirder stuff. All right, so The Boogeyman follows, still reeling from the tragic death of their mother, a teenage girl and her sister find themselves plagued by a sadistic presence in their house and struggle to get their grieving father to pay attention before it's too late. All right, so going into this one, well, first off, I should say Rob Savage is the director of the Shudder film Host and Dashcam. So that was interesting. I was in the like it camp for Dashcam. I understand a lot of people couldn't stand the lead character, but I liked it. What can I say?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
And Host, of course, was really, I think, the first shot during the pandemic release that we got. So I know that one was super popular.
Well, are we gonna? I don't want to debate which was the first, because
I could be wrong on that.
But Corona Zombies was first.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay.
But you could also argue like full feature. That's the whole thing. But
yeah, I was gonna say like full original feature. I'll go with Host. But anyways, The Boogeyman. So it kicks off pretty early on. Lester Billings in the going in for his therapy session. He's the main character in the short story, which I meant to reread. I did not, but I kind of remember it fairly well. And so obviously they're expanding. The short story is 12 pages, I believe. So there's not a lot to adapt. They're obviously going to have
it feels more like a continuation of the short story.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So grief horror has been the best horror of the last few years, at least, maybe longer than that, really. I didn't have high expectations for this. It's a really derivative movie. Like, it's predictable, and you've seen it before in terms of the story, but I actually like this one more than I thought I would. There's some issues. Number one, and I understand as far as mood goes, but there are scenes where characters are just sitting in the dark for no reason. Like the daughter just sitting pitch black playing a video game. There's certain moments there's certain moments early on where it's a very dark movie, and there's a few points where it doesn't really make sense. This is not a major complaint. I get it. It's just like, yeah, I can.
I'm just defending the TV video games thing, because a lot of people play games in the dark or watch movies in the dark.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a very normal thing.
It's dark throughout the whole movie, and
I know, but you just picked like the worst example.
Your argument is like kind of silly.
They're watching TV in the dark. Who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
Video games, Todd. We're not talking about your
motherfucker. I play video games in the dark like all the goddamn time.
That's the best way. When I bust out a video game, Tron in 3D on the big screen is fucking awesome.
Okay.
Damn it, I'm gonna bust
you old bastard.
It's at least it's the PlayStation 3 Tron. I'm not talking about some Atari 2600. Although
you have an Atari, Todd, don't you?
No, I don't. I have a ColecoVision.
Okay, well that's still you're fucking old.
It's not much better.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that was a little strange, but if you can get past the fact that you know exactly where this one is going, and it is also again similar to like a superior film like Relic, which I thought was an amazing movie. I really enjoyed the characters. It felt like a real family unit. I was engaged enough that I wanted to see if they'd make it out okay. There's a couple really effective jump scares in here. The mood is strong. Yeah, you've seen it all before, but I can't lie. I did enjoy it. It met my expectations.
How many words did you call Natalie that you can say on the show when you were watching this movie?
Which one was Natalie?
The blonde girl.
Blonde girl. Who was? Oh, the bitchy bully girl.
Yes, I was gonna say, how many words could you say on the show?
Oh, dude, yeah, she was bad. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
She was, but like, why invite her to your house? Like, if somebody's a bitch to me, I'm not gonna let them like come to
Yeah,
my
but
house.
all teenage girls are bitches to each other. So
well, and the reason she did that was because her best friend made new friends, so she was trying to be friends with them, but they treated her like shit. Yeah, it's stupid high school bullshit, but you do it.
Okay, yeah.
Teenage girls are the worst. Nah.
The creature design I thought was pretty cool. All in all, I mean, will this make my top 10? Probably not, although it could this year because we're off to a slow first half, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed every actor. I thought the father, again, realistic, played it just right as far as not processing his grief.
Especially a man of my era too. It's like we don't do we don't deal with that shit.
Yeah. This was interesting. I heard that the youngest daughter in this, I guess, played young Princess Leia.
I was waiting to see if you were going to talk shit. So go ahead, Dan. Talk
on Obi-Wan. Now, at one point, her character, instead of that, I don't know what you would call it, but that light sphere ball that she has, you see it in the trailer. It was going to be a lightsaber, but I guess they thought with the connection, that they probably wouldn't go with the lightsaber, which I'm glad because that show's stupid. But Todd, since you made me do
you know it's funny though. Dan likes to get his little Star Wars digs in. How many people like those new Star Trek shows though?
Picard season 3 was the shit, better than any.
But that's not the question I asked. I know I shouldn't have, but all I ever hear is your people talk shit about your fucking Star Trek. These people like Mandalorian in their other
Picard 3 better than anything Star Wars has done in recent years. But on that note, yeah, I dug this one. It's not going to blow your mind if you're a seasoned horror fan, but it was worth going to the theater for. I don't have any major complaints except it was derivative and kind of predictable. But what say you guys, Kruger?
Well, my biggest complaint was I had a fucking horrible movie theater experience watching this. Lots of fucking kids, and there's this fucking group of assholes that sat like right, like where the front of the theater, that row down there, right where it started, so everybody could see this guy. And every time the movie got silent or there was a jump scare coming up or was trying to build tension, this douchebag would fucking try to be funny and say something, and like that was pissing me off. And then I had two girls next to me that every time something scary happened, they started laughing uncontrollably, and it was driving me fucking crazy. And then next to my girlfriend, there's another two fucking girls that were just talking through the whole movie, like nonstop, didn't stop at all. And so like there was a couple of times where I was getting so pissed off, I wanted to just walk out of the fucking theater and maybe come back and do something heinous. Dark Knight Rises. But anyways, I did like the movie. I thought the creature was really cool. Granted, you have seen this stuff before. Off the top of my head, I can think of like that movie Come Play that we reviewed a few years back. Lights Out as well was a little similar with the concept. And I actually think Lights Out is a better movie, but for the sure creature design alone, like I thought the fingers for the teeth and the way it would open up, really, really cool stuff. And the cool shots of the creature throughout the movie too. They utilized, like, I know you said it is a dark ass movie, but I think for a reason it utilized the dark lighting and stuff for cool shots of the creature. So overall I liked it. It's not something that's probably going to make my top 10 or anything like that, but I haven't gotten like a good Stephen King adaptation in a while, and I'm glad that this kind of, balanced out what Children of the Corn may have did earlier in the year, and
Yeah.
and also they kind of leave the ending. Maybe we'll get a sequel. I don't necessarily think we need one, but if we want to go along and maybe dive more into the lore of the creature, I'm all for that, and I would go see a sequel to this one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Sophie Thatcher. Oh, sorry,
We
Dad. I was
should-
just saying I like Sophie Thatcher a lot.
Well, I was going to bring up she's one of the leads on Yellow Jackets. If you didn't know that, Dan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know what I could say now, but yeah, there's no arguing it is by the numbers, but the characters, the acting makes it all worthwhile. The creature design, yeah, no, I liked it a lot. Like I don't know how much I could say. That's where it's like cutting me off. I'll talk more about it in the post. But no, I really like this. The design was cool, and yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I thought the creature was really intimidating, and they did a pretty good job of making it a little different.
Oh, good.
No, I was gonna say they managed, like, even though you knew what was going on, they managed to make some of the benign scenes. They had the tension going, so, and they managed to keep that out throughout. And I think that, like, you could tell the crowd was really into it too. So it was definitely one I see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I wonder how the box office will fare. It's kind of in between a lot of blockbusters. Like,
Yeah, the Little Mermaid thing too.
That had a huge drop off. So I don't know. This might find its audience. It won't be number
I
one.
swear to God, all you people are trying to fucking act like it's a flop after it made billions of dollars. God damn
billions of dollars,
well,
Todd.
Millions of dollars.
It did not do well, Todd. It made like only $2 million in China. It did not do well.
That's shiny. Yeah, well.
It lost the entire overseas market. It had a big opening weekend, but that movie's going to lose money. 100%. We'll do a breakdown when it's done its box office, because I don't see how it makes money. It had to hit almost 800 million, I think, or something like that. And that's always debatable, but I think this weekend, I'm kind of curious, because I wonder how much juice Transformers has left.
The thing is,
does anybody care about those anymore?
I really like the Bumblebee movie, and I know a lot of people did, but now that we're back to Transformers, it's like it feels more like the other ones again.
Pete Davidson's in it, so his crowd will probably come to see him voice the Transformer.
Funny? I heard that, and it sounds like the cartoon one, so I can't even tell the difference.
Does Pete Davidson, does he even have any history of drawing people to the theater, though? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but what has been like his big hit that's gotten people into the theater?
I'm just saying his fucking fans are going to go see the movie.
I don't think that's the way it works. TikTok people will go see it because he's in it.
Yeah, sure. All right. Doesn't bring people to the theater. Maybe Bodies made a ton of money, and I'm just forgetting. I don't know. But
that's not the. Let's rate this. Fuck me.
Let's rate it.
I'm a 3.5 out of 5, and maybe there's a little bit of room to grow with that on a second watch without a bunch of annoying motherfuckers in the crowd.
There you go. Just go get the mask out of the car, Kruger, and let's come back in and scare him.
All right. Don't get me started on what I wanted to bring in there.
All right. I am 3. I could go a little bit higher at some point, but like I said, it was very, very familiar, but I enjoyed it. What say you, Todd?
I'm a 3.5.
Cool. And shout out Ben, Orc, Cliff. How's it going? All right. So moving on to our next film. Let's talk cocaine. Cocaine Shark this time. And this is, of course, from director Mark Polonia. and it follows a mafia drug lord has unleashed a new, highly addictive stimulant on the streets called HT25, derived from sharks held captive in a secret lab, and which causes monstrous side effects. After an explosion and leak at the lab, an army of mutated, bloodthirsty sharks and other creatures are set loose on the world as a small band of people try and stop the carnage. All right, Kruger.
Yeah.
You like sharks? You might like cocaine. I don't know. What did you think?
Well, one thing I want to say is I actually kind of marked out when I saw it was the Polonia brothers. I didn't think it. I didn't know that they were doing this, and
well,
they did.
Mark Polonia, his brother's dad.
Well, yeah, but the you get what I mean.
Yeah.
The whole effects team, their little logo. As soon as it popped up, it brought back a memory of me watching this old Cloverfield. It was like a Cloverfield knockoff movie to capitalize on the release of the theatrical release of it called Monster Movie. It was a fun little found footage thing, had a cool practical dinosaur in it. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense why there's actually going to be some effects to this thing. The story is dumb as fuck, and it is all over the fucking place, but this is like the type of trash movie I can tolerate. Just because it did have moments where it's just so bad it's funny. And I did like the effects, as cheesy as they were, and you know, the shark crab did kind of look like a turd a little bit, but it added to the charm of the movie, and I had fun with it. I'm not gonna give it a glowing rating, but it's definitely dumb as fuck. It takes a certain type of stupid to enjoy something like this, but I'm that certain type of stupid. I enjoyed it. Not as much as Cocaine Bear, because I actually like really love that movie, but if you want to have a fun cocaine double of just absurdity, maybe throw this on to get you warmed up for Cocaine Bear. And we are going to get Cocaine Crabs coming up soon too. So.
Oh, and Meth Gator. Gator's going to slay them all. Yes. The meth verse coming soon.
Yeah, the drug verse. Todd, you're muted.
It's probably good. I just thought of something. I didn't want to say it on there.
Oh, okay.
I just totally thought of a gimmick move. I'm just writing it
down. Yeah, so Brett Piper, I know, worked on some of the stop motion effects. He's one of those old school guys that still does it. The quality of the movies themselves sometimes range. I know Queen Crab was one he did a few years back. I think we might have reviewed that one. I really enjoy the charm of the Polonia brothers' early stuff. They started making movies when they were literally kids, and you can get a lot of their early stuff from SRS Cinema. Their newer stuff, particularly, you know, last decade, it's more miss for me, if I'm being honest. This is much better than Sharkula.
Thank you.
It felt like a proper movie, and I did enjoy the glimpses that we had at the stop motion creatures.
Yeah, it was fun.
Unfortunately, there's still moments where, you know, it's like a CGI water attack. It's some really stuff that really just didn't work. Quite frankly, I think these movies could be a little bit more funny. I don't get a lot of laughs out of them, like something like a ghost shark or a trailer park shark. You know, where those are just a blast and I laugh straight through. This might have gotten a couple chuckles, but the brief glimpses we get of these stop motion creatures are cool, but it's not enough to carry the whole movie for me. I will say it's the better Mark Polonia movie, that I've seen in a while. It's not great. It's not really my thing. There's actually at least a little bit of gore towards the end. You get a melted face, and I thought it was pretty funny towards the end when we actually get to see the crab shark eat people, and the finale was solid. If you've enjoyed some of the previous movies that Mark's done over the last like I said, decade or so, you'll definitely like this. It's one of the stronger ones I've seen in a while, but it's really doesn't quite hit for me, if I'm being honest. It just need a little more humor, a little more skin. What's up? What's up? Yeah, Todd. Any better for you? I feel like almost bad shitting on this one because I want.
Well, I'm closer to Kruger because I did have fun with this one.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem, I get what you're saying, where you want it to be funnier, but
Yeah.
if they play it for laughs, it's not. I don't think it's going to work. Because I mean, even the ones you mentioned, they don't play them for laughs. They're not playing Ghost Shark for laughs.
Yeah,
the characters are all treating it serious.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're not like hobgoblins too. That's the problem you get when you try to be funny.
Sure.
That's my only thing. But yeah, I'm hit and miss on his stuff in the last decade. Like the old stuff that way back. That's all special charm to it. It's a little different. But yeah, Sharkula is just the one that I couldn't. Yeah, it's like on the name of yeah. This one I had fun with. Yeah, there's some dumb stuff in it. It drags a few times, but overall, I thought it delivered on the name and gave you a few chuckles. I thought it was worth my time, and it's on Tubi, so you can go check it out now.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and give it a rating. Kruger, what say you?
I'm a 2 out of 5. Like I said, it's not a glowing rating, but I did have enough fun with it that I think it deserves 2 stars.
All right, okay. I'm a 2.5.
I'm a. Oh, go. Sorry, Todd.
I'm a 2.5.
Sweet. I am a 1.5.
Are you?
Yeah, definitely better than what I've seen recently, but I didn't love it. I won't watch it again. Maybe my personal taste. I don't know. But I am looking forward to Meth Gator, man. That's going to be the one.
And cocaine crabs, dude. Cocaine crabs.
Cocaine crabs. I feel like we need to change up the drug, though. We need ecstasy shark.
Dude, then it's just going to chill out.
Yeah. Dan doesn't know what these drugs mean. He just knows the name.
Ecstasy shark. And it's like a sex comedy. The shark gets.
Like, and then it needs to be Ecstasy Shark versus certain shark we've been sitting on for a while.
Oh my God.
We'll make it happen.
Roofie Shark.
All right. Moving on to our.
We'll pick our shark ideas in the post show then. How's
that? Yeah, you can make your mockbuster pitches in the Patreon stream,
dude. If Meth Gator is actually halfway decent, I want to see Meth Gator versus Crocodile. Brian Trash just said they should make that. So Crocodile versus Meth Gator, the battle of the century.
I don't know why Ghost Shark didn't become a franchise. I'll say it to this day, as far as those goofy shark movies go, Ghost Shark better than Sharknado.
I agree. I think it's the timing.
I've yet to watch any Sharknado other than like maybe 5 minutes of one, and I think I'm good.
The chainsaw homage. Is that what you watch?
Yeah.
It kind of peaks with 2, I think.
I don't know. Then we get in the whole time. They're stupid.
Ketamine
go back and look at.
Old Dirty says ketamine koalas and what the fuck is that? Pencilidine porcupine.
Oh,
I don't know what the fucking.
I know
what's the street name, bro?
It's one of those drugs. Like if I hear it, we could probably say, but I can't read that shit.
There you go.
What do we have next while we're trying to decipher?
I think you see a zombie koala in Zombies, if I remember right. But up next, we have Amityville Curse. Now, if there's one thing that screams quality, it's Amityville in the title of your movie. It's pretty much a guarantee that it's going to be a 5-star classic. So I should say there's already been. This is the second film to have this title, Amityville Curse. There was the Canadian film from 1990. No connection.
I
But
said they've made so many of these, they're already recycling names.
Yeah, at this point, it's pretty wild.
And it's not like it's a remake, so it's we're just fuck it. We've used them all.
Yeah. So in this one, it's a Tubi original horror movie that follows a group of friends who decide to purchase and flip a house that turns out to be, of course, haunted. That pretty much sums it up. So who wants to go first on this one? Is the Amityville Curse broken? PCP Porcupines. Okay.
Well, I don't watch these fucking movies for a reason. So Todd,
I think yeah. I had more fun with this than I should have. It's shitty. It really is.
Really?
But it was just got to the point where it was like like there's a random 2 months later, and I'm just like, we would have done with that scene. Even the dog's like, fuck that.
He's like, what the fuck, Todd?
Like, no, Kruger, they were literally like talking about what they're going to do in the scene. Like, so it makes sense what the next thing was going to be. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, and you have a whole nother 30 minutes of what the fuck is happening. It was just fucking dumb and batshit. And like, I don't think they knew what they were making, but the final result was a craptastically enjoyable movie, at least for me. Dan can't have fun on some stupidness, so I'm sure this is where he's lying. He's gonna.
Todd was doing all the cocaine with this one. There's nothing fun about this one. Pacing issues galore. It's not like, I mean, there's no gore, there's no nudity, there's no scares. It's just some of the most annoying, bland people crammed into a house. You could give two fucks about anybody. The movie has the nerve to tease a follow-up, which God.
I can't wait. Oh, I can probably tell you it's already shot knowing Tubi. It's ready to come out.
Look, like, I don't know who would like this. It's not like it's some cheesy bad movie. It's the nicest thing I can say about it is it's still better than Amityville Mount Misery Road. That's definitely the worst of the Amityville stuff we've watched so far. But I got to tell you, I don't have a single good thing to say about this one. It's always nice seeing Brendan Fair from Roswell, the TV show, the original Roswell, I should say. He doesn't get much to do. This is just like, I don't know. It almost felt like watching a stupid reality show, just couples bickering. You could care less about any of that drama.
Maybe that's why I can tolerate it. I watch reality shit.
None of the, there's no tension. It's really heavy on the just leave the fucking house. Like, after all these people die, leave the fucking house. Like, it's not that complicated. This doesn't even bother to be like, oh, some force is keeping
No, they just don't we don't want to sell the house yet. See, I think that's all the shit that made me laugh is how fucking stupid. Like, there is no worse decision they could have made. Like, going across the way, every decision they make is like the worst possible.
Yeah, I don't know what I could not have fun with this. I could do all the mushrooms in the world. I don't think I would have fun with this. It's just awful. And I was really sad because I thought, like, okay, Brendan Fair's in this. He's a good actor. Maybe this will be solid. It's not. It makes the 1990 Amityville Curse look like fucking Halloween.
Which is available on Blu-ray via Vinegar Syndrome partner label.
Yep. Man, this is the worst Tubi original I've seen, and that includes the Terror Train remake.
Terror Train improved. See, I can't go that far.
I hate the Terror Train remake.
Yeah, I can't go.
But this is worse than that.
Yeah,
this is worse than that. I don't know what I would say.
I think it's it's not worse. I can't go that far.
I mean, maybe I haven't seen every Tubi original, but god damn, dude, this was the shit.
It is 100% shit, and I don't disagree with anything except I was laughing at how stupid these fucks were and how annoying.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to waste
You know what?
any more time.
It makes sense though now that I think about it. Look at my tolerance for you.
Well, fuck you, Todd. I'm the original, or I'm Amityville 2, motherfucker. I'm the best one. But on that note, I mean,
even your dog's calling bullshit on that.
Well, since he's barking during the show, he's got to watch this piece of shit again.
So
I give this one a 0. Not a single thing could I recommend to anybody, unless you really just hate somebody. You could recommend it to them, but it's the lower tier with Amityville, not the worst, but it's on that lower tier. There's no reason to watch it. 0.
See, I could not even close to give it a 0, considering the Amityville movies we've watched. I've given movies that are worse than this way higher than a 0. I'm giving this a 2.5, but I'm letting you all know it's a piece of shit.
Wow.
That's like an average, though. Like, even Amityville.
I can't. Okay, I can give it a 2,
give me 3 Amityville movies that this is better than. Except Mount Misery Road, because that's low.
No, what the fuck is that?
Well, nothing is everything's better.
How can you say give me 3, then immediately discount one? I was gonna say.
Todd, right. pull up Barney Likes Beer's comment. He said, "Yeah, what's the best Amityville movie or Amityville to watch for somebody who hasn't seen any of them?"
I'd say
I'm not going to immediately say 2 because I need to know if you want it about the actual case that makes a difference. Because then it has to be the original. Because everything else there is, but 2 is definitely the best movie. But it's about the original murder case more than the actual haunting case. But my favorite is Amityville 3D. I don't think I need to explain much more than it's in 3D and it has a cool looking monster and it's really fucking dumb.
I've only seen the first one.
2 is,
and there was also the Amityville Murders that came out a few years ago from Daniel Ferenz, I believe it was.
I would say stick to just the original, the cursed object ones. Some people like those. A lot of people like Amityville Dollhouse.
Yeah, Amityville, It's About Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but 3 worse ones. That's what you wanted. Okay. I'm going to discount that one. Amityville in Space.
I would watch that again before this.
Okay. Mine. I can't use Mount Misery Road. Fuck, I can promise I can't think of all the names. I have to look them up. I blocked them out immediately.
It's like I said, it's lower tier. I'm sure you can come up with.
I see. That's the thing. I think everything else we've watched, minus Amityville Uprising, is lower tier. I think this stands above those.
It might be like it. Like
I don't think there's
with a Cool Dude or Amityville, and that is not a compliment. That's kind of like where I'm putting this.
See, I'd rather watch this. Amityville movie. No, see, Dan's getting all fucking big and pain in the ass. He doesn't want to do any more Amityvilles. Fuck. Even though we're doing Emmanuel, we're doing Amityville Emmanuel. I don't give a shit what Dan says.
Yeah. You know what? That sounds good, but there's no way that it's good. Like, it's a good concept, but
so then we must find out what happened.
Hey, if they live up to the premise, if you got fucking Laura Gemser to come in and do Amityville Emmanuel, I'm in. Old Dirty.
God damn it, Dan. I was in the middle of fucking talking, you cocksucker.
God damn, go ahead.
What'd I tell you?
It's all cranky today.
I'm literally talking and
yeah,
Amity Vibrator is a classic and probably the best of all the Amity ones we've watched so far. I haven't seen Amityville Vietnam. Have you, Dan?
I've never even heard of Amityville Vietnam. That's a thing? There's a lot on Tubi that don't even have physical releases.
Yeah, we have not been, but since Dan's like being a little bitch about the series, I don't know when it's going to happen.
I don't know. Here's the question, Ben. Do you want us to review it if it's your friend's movie?
He already said yeah. That we already confirmed.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. I guess we'll do another Amityville show for some reason at some point. So Emmanuel, which is destined to disappoint.
I hope there's no titties in it, Dan, too.
There's not gonna be.
He's gonna be the maddest you've ever seen in any review.
I'll tell you what, if you have the balls to call it Amityville Emmanuel and there's not, that goes below Mount Misery Road.
I agree. I think that's the only reason
on gall alone for making me sit through 90 minutes of.
But would it go lower than this?
Well, yeah, this is still above Mount Misery Road. I acknowledge Mount Misery Road is the king of shit, but this is still a 0. But all right, there we go. Well, they did a sequel to Terror Train, so you know what? They probably.
I'm telling you, we're getting the Amityville Curse too. I know that.
They probably already shot it. They probably shot them back to back.
You just regurgitate what I say and act like you said it for the first time.
Fuck you, Dad. Vibrator is a boner killer. Amityville Vibrator is not a boner killer. Mallory Maneater is in that, Ben. Come on. If you watch S'mores Indoors, you know. She's an icon. Slaughterport agrees. All right, moving on to our next film. I'm really, really curious to get your guys' takes on this because this is a weird one. Good weird or bad weird, we'll see. But it is Exorcism in Utero, which one second here. So this one tells the story of a woman who must save her unborn child and herself when she is possessed by a powerful ring harboring a demon. All right, so a little more background on this one. So it opens up. You've got this kid named Peter, I believe, who's a horror fan, which that was pretty cool. It kind of sets it up as sort of like a Fright Night Rear Window kind of setup where he's noticing things with the neighbor. The family doesn't believe him, and all wrapped around this exorcism possession story. Now, what's really weird about this one is the tone, because where we start to the finale, it's like a tale of two movies. You go from a fairly typical exorcism story to Peter Jackson's early work. It's really bizarre. It's really, really bizarre. It's kind of a horror comedy, yet at moments it feels like it's taking it serious. Yeah. It's a very bipolar movie. I didn't hate it. Like, I'll be honest, anytime we do something exorcism, possession based, it's kind of like, more often than not, it just feels like you're watching a lesser version of The Exorcist. This one is different, and I got to award it points for that. It might be too bipolar for people because what the fuck were they doing at the end? Because holy shit, did it change. I was entertained by it, though. I like this movie, but I don't know. Kruger, what did you think? Because I'm curious.
I agree with like the tone thing that you said. I thought the tone was. There was times where they were like cracking jokes and stuff, and and like the ending, even though it's supposed to be kind of like serious, it is funny if you have a dark sense of humor. So but I didn't really know how to feel about it. I thought some of the effects looked good, but the main effect on the character that was being possessed, I don't know. I just wasn't really a fan of the way it looked. It just looked like they painted over her with gray. I did like the little brother Peter, but at the same time, I kind of wish this movie was told through his perspective. I think it would have been better if we were just following him around. He was noticing things with the neighbor, trying to go to his. I think we got too much of the neighbor because it almost felt like she was going to become the main character at times with the way the story was being told. And then we would jump back and forth and back and forth. It would have been better if they just told it through the kid's perspective. But overall, like, this just wasn't my thing. I and more times than not, I wasn't having a great time with it, but I'll give them credit for the small practical effects they had at the end. It did get a little chuckle out of me, but
the curb stomp.
Curb stomp was but as a whole, like, this isn't anything I'm going to rewatch, nor is it something I could recommend. But I can see people that are fans of these low budget possession movies, and just like you said, if you're like a fan of Dead Alive, maybe you could get something to like out of this.
Okay, yeah. Todd,
it was too uneven for me. Like, I like bits. I just needed to pick one and stick with it, and I didn't hate it. Yeah, I just really wish it would have picked a tone or just kind of evened out a little bit more. I still think it's worth a watch. It just didn't. Yeah, I really wish it would have picked a tone or at least evened out a little.
Yeah, I get that, and that's going to be an issue for a lot of people. But I guess just seeing a lot of generic, bland exorcism movies, I appreciated something that just at least felt like I hadn't seen it before. And I was laughing my ass off at the end. It's weird to have a somewhat serious tone and then go full trauma in the last 10 minutes or so. But yeah, I'll roll with it. It was entertaining. Yeah, if any of you see this one in particular, I'm kind of curious what you think, because I think maybe most people are going to have issues, but what can I say? I did enjoy it. All right.
And I like a trauma tone, so
yeah.
I didn't hate it. It just, I wish it would have just made a decision.
I get it. Yeah, that was my biggest issue too. If it would have had that like comedic, over the top tone throughout the whole movie, it would have just worked well. Because I did think the ending was fun, but it was just like, oh well, we're going there now. All right.
Yeah, I get that.
But so let's rate this. I'm a 1.5 out of 5.
Oh, I'm a 3. I had fun.
I'm a 2.5.
Yeah, I had to go a little higher just for being different. I mean, there's certainly better made exorcism movies, but they're all just the same. So
I think that's a little of it too. I just feel like I'm like getting a lot of this shit lately. It's starting to folklore up, and it's starting to annoy me.
Did you like Fat Pope, fucking Exorcist?
Russell that one I did, but that's it's fucking 2023 Joe Spinell basically.
Right?
We all like that one just because we now look better than Russell Crowe. It's like an ego boost.
I think he got our hearts in his last film.
The fucking what the hell was it?
Unhinged.
Yeah.
That was the best.
My pitch for Pope's Exorcist 2 is you put him in a Walmart scooter and he's like just shooting like demons with a shotgun as he's going through a Walmart.
Yeah, go full Evil Dead with it.
He's just in like a Walmart scooter. Or he commandeers one, pushes the lady out. It's just like,
dude, I want him to fight fucking Lucifer. Like, see him fucking like.
He tries to tempt him with like succubus chicks, and then it's like just like a Big Mac. It's not working.
Big Mac and a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Big Mac and a Mountain Dew. That's what he uses. He like blesses some Mountain Dew in the Walmart, and that's what he uses. Like, it's a squirt gun, and he's just like
Oh, dude, can you? No, he has to bless like a 12-pack, and then he throws it in the air and fucking shoots it, and it explodes in the demon's mouth. There you go.
Spielberg can suck a dick. We just made the most epic fucking summer movie ever. Ever.
Oh,
he goes to exercise a haunted Walmart.
That's great.
Come
I'm
on.
so in.
Come on, that is so fucking cool. The fucking Cooler Ranch come alive and like with pitchforks and come after him.
And then at the end he partners up with the mall security guard who is Nicolas Cage.
Yes. Yes. Dude, that's even better. He's got to be either the mall or he's just like an employee cleaning toilets.
Or there's a Willy's Wonderland up in the mall.
That's what I was saying. That's his new gig.
We do the crossover. I mean, they did use a satanic ritual to turn into fucking animatronics. So we fucking get Russell Crowe and Nicolas Cage in a buddy cop exorcist movie. Let's go.
And just at the end, Cage finally talks. They're like just sitting on the ground covered in demon guts, and then Crow's just like, "Why don't you ever shut the fuck up?" And then they go to credits. Boom. All right. Well, we just booked something much better than you'll get from Hollywood this summer. But now it is on to our main event of the evening, which is the highly anticipated Subspecies 5 Blood Rise, which, man, waited a long time for this. There's always been rumors. There have been talks like they were about to go into production. I remember over the years a few times.
And we were like, please no, thank you. It didn't happen.
Yeah, I was getting there. It was definitely one of those things where it's like, I just don't think they have the money anymore. And I was always like, if they licensed it out, maybe. But it's very hard to do proper modern Gothic horror. It just doesn't usually work. But in this one, stolen by Crusaders on the night of his birth, he has no knowledge of his bloodline. His mother is a demon. His father is a vampire. Trained and exploited by a brotherhood of mystic monks to slay the enemies of the church. Fate brings him back to the castle of his father, armed with the monster-slaying sword of Laertes, to destroy the vampire Vladislas and reclaim a holy relic, the Bloodstone. Spanning 500 years in the life of Radu Vladislas, this long-anticipated prequel to the Subspecies series chronicles Radu's descent from a noble warrior for the church to a depraved creature of the night. All right, so I'm a big Subspecies fan. Really love the first 3 movies. I think maybe 2 is the best. I mean, when Denise Duff came in, I mean, come on. 4 is pretty wretched, and I know, Todd, you just rewatched it recently, I believe.
I did. I watched, including Vampire Journals, which that's a whole thing. But
the crossover movie, yeah.
For the last decade or so, I've been just like, I don't really like the Subspecies movies. And I think at some point, Vampire, the last 2 just kind of like seeped in my brain, and I forgot how much I do enjoy the first 3. I mean, it makes sense. I owned them on Laserdisc. But yeah, so I kind of like, I was glad I did actually like them because I was going in, not sure where I was going to get when we got to the new one.
Yes, it's different for Full Moon. I mean, Subspecies, oftentimes I'll hear from people, I don't really like Full Moon, but I like Subspecies. It's a very different tone. Now, I also have to remind people of that time period. You had stuff like Meridian, which is a great film. Really Castle Freak, which is a wonderful film, although gorier, obviously, than the Subspecies movies. But Subspecies was proper Gothic horror. And in fact, the first Subspecies, I believe, was the first American film to shoot, or one of the first to shoot down there in Romania. which after the wall fell and everything. So it was pretty historical. And I never thought we'd get anything again out of the Subspecies franchise. I didn't want it after 4 because just how are you going to pull it off with no money? I was like, if they do it, we're going to get Radu in the hood. It might have been fun, but it wouldn't have been a Subspecies movie.
I don't know how much more money they had because I saw a lot of tricks that they used. Like,
sure.
Because I mean, basically, all the exteriors were like from a catalog of some sort. It looks like they were crane shots, probably picked up on an Adobe type site.
Talking 5 right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, so the budget, they hide the budget restrictions very well, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's not like they were given millions of dollars to make this, but they certainly had more money than any modern full moon movie. In fact, this had a limited theatrical run at Alamo Drafthouse. I wish I could have saw it in the theater. Ben, yes, I know Ben got to check it out and has not watched the other Subspecies movies. But you're okay because it is a prequel. I would generally say if you haven't watched any of them, start with the original, but you'd be okay, I suppose. So yeah, who would have thought Full Moon could pull off Gothic vampire horror in 2023? I think they did a good job. This one's shot in Serbia versus Romania for the previous films. Although Bloodstorm, I don't believe was. I'm trying to remember at that point, but I think they do a wonderful job, dude. Like, this felt like a proper movie. And I don't mean to shit on Full Moon because I love Full Moon, but this really felt like something that they might have made pre-1995. When the Castle Freak was kind of the last one before budgets definitely started to go down.
Yeah.
Not quality, because I love that late 90s, very early 2000s era where we got stuff like Hideous, The Creeps, Blood Dolls, which I hope gets a Blu-ray soon. I love those movies. The
post-Paramount era. There is obvious eras to Full Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Like after you have Paramount era, you have that one, and I know both of us really love that, that little era. And then you have it, I think, I do like our modern era of Full Moon too. Though this one is different than the modern era of Full Moon movies.
Very different. And you get some franchise staples back. Kevin Spiritus plays the villain, Prince of Ladislas. Of course, Denise Duff is Helena. Anders Hove certainly looks older, but creepy as ever when he's in the makeup. I thought just awesome. I mean, he's one of the scarier vampires that's certainly the 90s onwards, which again, it's rare. I don't like a lot of modern vampire movies, but I loved the Subspecies films, and I'm just blown away. I saw the trailer and I thought, man, that actually looks good, but I tried to keep my expectations low, and I have to say this exceeded it. It blew them away, quite frankly. I know this script was written by Ted Nicolau, who's also back directing this one, like 20 years ago. And I think it's the most fleshed out version of Radu's character that we've had. The Subspecies franchise, not much in the way of gore. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not really getting that kind of movie, but I really like just kind of that old school Gothic feel.
But what did we get plenty of, Dan?
In Subspecies?
Yeah.
For 5, I mean, we get some skin.
There you go.
Yeah, we get a little bit of skin in this one. Nothing too pervy or anything, but we do get some bloody boobs, which are always nice.
Dan made me go winch onto him saying bloody boobs. That sucks.
Bloody boobs, Ted.
But Dan says that it's gross. I don't know.
I want to say it every goddamn show.
I think it's the way he's saying boobs.
It is. He's like, the way he says it is like BEWS, and it grosses me out. Like
That's how you're gonna
12-year-old.
That's what I was doing. Like, you know, if I saw Subspecies when I was younger, it'd be like pubes. Awesome. That's how I'm gonna say it. 20 years from now, Todd.
We'll
be on
t-shirt
episode
design.
10,000. It's gonna be pubes.
Yeah, new t-shirt design.
He's adding a U in it though. It's weird. That would
BEWBS.
Bubes. BUBWES.
Oh my god.
Pubes. But anyways, yeah, you get some pubes.
God damn it. Make it stop.
Kruger, you might enjoy it. I think you probably should dive in at some point. The backstory of Radu is so cool. I'm a fanboy. You might want to keep that in mind. Maybe you don't care about Full Moon and you think maybe we're overselling it, but I fucking love this movie. I fucking loved it. I couldn't imagine them nailing it any better. You know, couple maybe fight scenes could have used a little better choreography, but overall, I thought this was a kick-ass film.
Yeah, it makes up for 4 and that Vampires Journal one. It's below the Paramount trilogy, I think, for me, but I was really happy with this one. It delivered when I wasn't sure. I'm glad we didn't get an attempt any sooner, because I think it would have fallen like 4 or worse.
Okay. Yeah. At some point I do want to go back and like rewatch them in order now. Now here's the question. If we get a Subspecies 6, which we probably will, because I think a lot of fans are gonna go nuts for this. Speaking of which, it is on Screenbox right now, if you want to check it out.
Full Moon Direct. Come on,
and of course, dual premiere, Full Moon Direct as well. You can see it either one. Do you continue with the prequel, because there's a lot of time between where we end and, you know, the first Subspecies, or do we try and go beyond that? I mean, what do you do with that one, Todd? Modern day, or do we keep it in the past?
Well, see, now I just want to see a shitty version in modern day. So you fuck yourself with that question. Now I just want to see Radu chilling around the streets of LA, walking by the homeless encampments, trying to
smoking a blunt with
the
his like
best
2
part,
long
though,
fingers.
Dan would be like, yes. Is just Radu trying to find someplace he can piss in LA. That'll be an hour of the runtime.
He just has to like, you let me pee. Just goes in the Rite Aid.
Accidentally lets a crackhead in.
What was I gonna do, Todd? I come out, he grabs the door and goes in. I'm sorry. God, I felt bad for that dude. I was like, hey man, just so you know. He's like, fuck. I could just see him. Like, he just made a beeline. I was like, couldn't do anything.
I mean, you have to figure the best thing he could be doing in there is spreading his seed everywhere.
There is no best thing in that scenario. But oh, dude, have him walk by the encampment, and then he just turns, and you get like a random Coffin Joe cameo with the.
When Dan says that word, it sounds so much worse.
What encampment?
Damn it, Todd. All right, so highly recommend Subspecies 5. It is the movie of the night. This one might be in my top 10. I mean, it certainly is now.
I think it'll make it to the end of the year. May not make it at the height of your top 10, but who knows? I think it'll make it to the end of the year. Because you are a really big Mark for it. And I knew watching it.
Oh, I am a Mark, so keep that in mind. I am a Mark. I'll freely admit it. When
I kind of think, Kruger, you're probably, if you think you'd like it, go with that. If not, you know.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's something like, if you look at like, yeah, I wouldn't like that, and Dan saying no, it's great. Yeah,
I'm 50.
I'd ignore
on
yeah.
Kruger liking it, but
I mean, I like vampire shit.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
Stick it out through 2 if you give it a shot.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and rate it. It's not quite perfect, but I'm a 4.5. I fucking loved it. How about you, Todd?
Well, I was going to be a dick and give it a rating, but I'm not. I'm a 4. I did enjoy it.
All right. I'm trying to think, like, do you have a long list of like Full Moon Empire classics that you haven't watched yet, Kruger?
Fuck. I mean, you brought some up. When Full Moon had that sale, I bought a bunch of shit that it's just been sitting on the shelf and I haven't got around to it. I think you said Hideous. That's one of them.
Yeah.
What is it? Robot Wars is another one.
Yeah.
That was an all Kruger pick. I can know that.
Yeah,
Giant robots fighting. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I can't really off the top of my head, but yeah, I gotta get around to those. I should have a Full Moon night.
Dan, what did you get to watch when you were in California?
We watched The Creeps in 3D.
That was the one I was leading to.
Yeah. We didn't do Parasite, did we? Or no, we did do.
No, we didn't do Parasite.
We
didn't do that or Metal Storm. So we got a couple Charlie Band ones.
Space Hunter was fun in 3D. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that Enter the Video Store Arrow box set.
Oh yeah, that looked rad. I wish I would have got it.
I know. I was half considering going to Monster Loose to pick it, but I didn't.
Arena's on that.
Fucking
Jocks.
Isn't Dolls on there too?
Dolls, Cellar Dweller. Feel like I'm not naming one.
Yeah, that means I got a bunch of fucking Scream Factories I can get rid of.
Yeah, it's a rough month for box sets. The Mexico Macabro set's coming out, although that's only $50, but I'm really excited for that. Lots of cool shit this year.
The Arrow box was down to right around 60 on deep discount. I don't know if Amazon price matched.
Oh, okay.
I think it was down to 69, which is still pretty good. Maybe it was 59.
Yeah, you can get it off MVD, although that'll be higher.
There is an MVD Troma sale through not Orbit, through oldies.com right now.
I need to get I need to get on the next time they do an Unearthed sale because I am so fucking far behind.
Yeah.
I haven't bought any Unearthed movies for a year and a half now.
Ben picked it up. Arrow box. Yeah, $70, and I think it was the same price that I saw because I was like, it was a good price. Dungeon Master's another one on there.
Dungeon Master. Yeah, okay. That's
Is that one a first Blu-ray release?
No, it was a double feature.
Oh, okay. Hopefully.
With Eliminators.
Is Eliminators on the set?
No.
Motherfuckers.
No, yeah, I was gonna say there's a few.
The other one? What was on Cellar Dweller? Catacombs? That's not on there.
Yeah, no.
I have it. Fucking somewhere.
I mean, you can retire your Scream Factory dolls if you wanted to, and Robot Jocks on that. Those were all single releases. So, yeah, I hope we get a second set. I'd like to see Robot Wars, Crash and Burn. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's Catacombs.
Wow, I actually remember that. My brain.
I still haven't watched that either.
Cellar Dweller?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched it yet.
I could bust out the VHS tape. I just found it.
What the fuck? Does it have Jeffrey Combs in there or no?
Yeah.
I think it's something. Oh, it does?
Yeah. Lower your expectations.
Okay. I mean, it's got Jeffrey Combs in it.
I'm not saying it's bad, but I know because of that, your expectations are going to be up here.
I know.
Bring it down here so we can meet in the middle.
Yeah, right.
That's all.
I still got to watch his Doctor Who movie.
What was the musical someone told us to watch? Was it the Reanimator musical? And wasn't it Pugs who told us to watch it?
I think so.
Okay. Because I did find it.
Oh, you did?
It is on YouTube. So.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we got to watch that.
Nice.
But
we need House of Reanimator. Somebody's got to do it. But I think Todd was getting ready to segue. So we're gonna be on Patreon for an uncensored stream, and yeah, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. We're gonna go live just a few minutes after this ends, so check that out. You can get instant access to exclusive, early, a lot of exclusives now. We have some really exciting After Dark content coming there. Nice, Todd. Is that
just my life? Yeah, he fell off.
Okay.
So it was just.
I have the Michael Myers ones, and
See one back here.
Yeah, I need to actually hang those this year.
Well, I hung him up and lit him up for the background, but then you couldn't see him because when they lit up, they're just fucking white because of the light, the way the camera picks it up.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We will have more content coming, so be sure to hit that thumbs up, enable the notification bell so you see when we go live. And yes, also on the 13th, in just under a week now, Region Free will be back. If you haven't commented the last month's video, we read hate mail. So there you go.
I'll make sure Pugs knows.
I doubt Pugs' comments will be read, but within certain reason, yes. Check that out. Last Region Free was great. We have some really good topics this time as well, so I think it'll be a lot of fun, a lot of diverse topics, and there might be, don't know for sure yet, but there might be a legacy cast member coming back. So there you go. You won't want to miss that. We'll see you on Patreon, guys. Goodbye for now.
All right. Good evening.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.